What actually happens when you take your own music, the stuff you made with your own two hands, and feed it into an AI model? Do you still own it? Can an app like Suno turn around and use it to train its models? And who owns the new song that comes out of the other side, you or the machine? I've been wanting real answers to this, not somebody's hot take in the comments section. So today we're not guessing. I'm gonna upload one of my original recorded stems into Suno's audio upload feature live, and we're gonna find out together. There's one line buried in Suno's own terms of service that most artists never read. And once you see it, the question of who owns your music gets a lot clearer and a little more uncomfortable. I'll show you the exact line and the one move that keeps you protected no matter what. So one disclaimer, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I'm a business owner, I'm not a lawyer, and none of this is legal advice. Terms and copyright rules are changing fast, so I'm gonna show you where to check everything yourself. This is one of the biggest questions independent musicians have right now, and we have talked about this a lot on this channel and inside of our community at Produce Like a Boss. And there is so much misinformation floating around. People are kind of scared to touch these tools. Now, I am not going to sit here and say AI is good, AI is bad. What I am going to do is I'm going to give you the information so that you can decide for yourself, because it is different based on your goals. So instead of adding to the noise, we're going to do three things: run the actual experiment with my own song, my own stem, read Suno's real terms of service together in plain English, and third, figure out exactly what you need to know before you upload a note of your own work. Here's what we're testing. Suno lets you upload your own audio as the starting point for an AI generated song. So if you're an experienced Suno user, you know that already. But if you've never used it because you're kind of scared to, that's what you can do. If you're not familiar with fully generative AI, it's built to do things like extend an idea you never finished, add instruments around what you already have, variations, build something on top of your existing music. On paper, that can be really useful. A voice memo that never became a song could become one, and that's the promise. So we're going to dig in and see what actually happens. So I opened Logic. That is a digital audio workstation. So if you're new to this, that's what that is. Now inside of Logic, I recorded a little demo myself, okay? So I actually took just the piano of that and I exported it. So it's all 100% my recording. No AI or samples, no loops. It's just me at the piano. So let's open up Suno here. I'm going to upload my little stem here. There's my piano. Okay. I'm going to use a prompt. I'm going to give it a style. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to say, this is my piano stem. Now in this case, I'm going to try something. I don't actually want it to make the whole song yet because I already have the song. I just want to see what it does with a stem, because let's say, what if my stem, my piano playing wasn't that great? What if it wasn't quantized well? What if I didn't have a good plugin that I liked, or the processing wasn't great? Okay. So I'm going to just see what it does here, because I've been hearing from a lot of people that they're like, well, I use Suno as my mix and master because I can't do it. Which here at Produce Like a Boss, we teach you all three steps: produce, protect, and profit. So you're going to be able to do all three when you're a member at Produce Like a Boss. So this is my piano stem. Don't add anything else to it. I just want you to act like an audio engineer who is an expert at mixing and mastering, and simply clean up my stem and give it back to me. Let's just see what it does. I've never tried this with Suno before. Okay, let's hop in here. We've got this little piano. Okay, so that is processed from my DAW. So now I'm going to hit create. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this audio. I actually wrote it in the wrong place. I wrote it in audio description. Here is my prompt right here. Okay, so let's see what it does. Now it is instrumental. So we're going to do that. We're going to click there and hit create. Now let's see what it does. Okay, so that was a little weird. It didn't really do what I asked it to do. It added some instrumentation. Let's see what the other one looks like. Okay, so Suno was having a little bit of fun, going a little crazy. But what I want to show you also here, you heard my stem and you see now what Suno built on top of it. Now, if you just wanted that stem, you could go over here and you could just download that audio right there. The other thing that you could do is you could go into the studio. And the studio is meant to be a little bit like a DAW. You'd be able to split the stems and just get the audio track. So let's drag this over here. And now I'm going to hit extract stems, all detected stems, okay? Then you actually be able to solo out and hear just the keyboard part. That's an interesting opportunity that you have here inside of Suno. Did it stay faithful to what I gave it, or did it take the wheel completely? Would you use this in your own music? Sit with that, because your answer matters more after the next part. Now, we know one thing for certain. That piano recording is mine. The one I uploaded. I made it. I own it. That part isn't up for debate. But everything Suno just added on top of it, the new instruments, the arrangement, the parts I didn't play, who owns that? Me? Suno? Nobody? That's the question everyone's arguing about, and almost nobody is actually answering. So let's stop guessing and go ahead and read what Suno itself says. Now, before we open the fine print, because this is exactly the rabbit hole this stuff sends people down, if you've ever felt that little knot in your stomach wondering, what do I actually own? If I'm using AI, is it problematic? I made something for you, and it's completely free. It's a free training called Who Actually Owns Your Music in the AI Era and What to Do About It. What you own, what you don't, and the exact first steps to lock it down in very easy, simple terms. It's linked below and in the description. You can get it for free right after this, because this next part is the whole reason you're here. Very few people read the terms of service, except me. I read the terms of service,
And apparently I'm weird, but I'm okay with that.
because this is the stuff that actually matters. This is the stuff I've paid attention to, so I've built a 6-figure business around it. So stay with me. Let's start with the good news, okay? What you still own, your original recording, your original stem, your original composition, Suno's own terms say that you keep all right, title, and interest in what you upload. So uploading your piano to Suno doesn't hand them the song. You made it. You still own that. However, what rights do I have with a paid subscription? Songs made while subscribed are granted commercial use rights. Okay, so you can monetize it how you wish. So if you use this output, this one that I created, let's go back to it one more time. Take a listen. Okay, so that's what Suno made, okay? So what Suno receives, this is the line I told you to wait for. When you upload, you grant Suno a very broad license to operate the service. We are going to read this together on screen because it matters. Okay, so here in the Suno Terms of Service, it says you represent and warrant that you own all the right, title, and interest in your submissions, including the copyrights. And basically they're saying, hey, when you upload it, you're saying that you own it all. Then what it's saying is by using the service and otherwise transmitting submissions, you grant, here we go, Suno and our affiliates, successors, assigns, and designees a worldwide, non-exclusive, fully paid up, sub-licensable, that is concerning, assignable, royalty-free, perpetual, irrevocable right and license to use, reproduce, store, modify, distribute, and create derivative works on, perform, display, communicate, blah, 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 any and all content, in whole or in part, and any rights you may have in your voice model. Okay, what? That's a lot. These words matter here. According to their current terms, the license is worldwide and it's long lasting and it's broad enough to let them use your upload to improve their products and their AI models. So the honest answer to whether they can train on what I give them, yeah, the license you agreed to is wide enough to allow it. That's not a rumor. It's right there. And when you use it, you automatically agree. Does that mean that they own your music? No, but it does mean you're handing over real permission, and you should decide on purpose whether your best work is something you want to hand over. And that's where I want people to stop, to pause and think about this. Do I actually want to upload my stuff to Suno? Now, in this case, I'm being very careful and strategic here over in Suno, where I just uploaded the piano stem and I am using it for ideation. Okay, so we've got the stem. Let's hear it. Okay, the interesting thing about that too is that some of it is not human, right? It just sounds very quantized, very computerized. I studied piano performance at a conservatory for my undergrad, so I can play really well. And some of that I'm like, I mean, that's weird. I don't know that I would even want to play that, right? And so you've got this generative feel, and you got to decide if you're okay with that. But I was strategic here. I just uploaded one thing and I'm just using it for ideation. And because I have taken the time to build my skill as a producer, I can use this as ideation and then just go back to my DAW and rebuild it and say, oh man, I kind of like that idea, or that gave me inspiration for this other idea. Okay. Now here's the part that trips everybody up. The AI output. Current U.S. Copyright Office guidance basically says that purely AI generated material without enough human authorship, you can't qualify for a registered copyright. And there are other organizations, PROs, ASCAP, BMI, other streaming platforms even, they're saying, nope, no fully generative AI. So when people are saying that Suno's terms contradict themselves, give you the song, then say they can't promise you a copyright, it's not actually a lie, but it's a little confusing. So here's what it is. Suno can give you whatever rights it has. That's a commercial license. And that's what we were talking about over here, where you are granted a commercial license. That means they're not going to come after you for royalties, but that doesn't mean it's copyright qualification, okay? So you have to understand that. It cannot give you a copyright that may not legally exist in the first place because the U.S. Copyright Office has been clear on that. The human part can be protected. The purely machine-made part just might not qualify for a registered copyright, which means that when you use a tool like Suno to do what I just did, but then if you're going to take those stems, the actual output, and put it into your song, it's a blend. It's human material that you made, and then it's AI material that maybe nobody can own. And that combination creates one really important question about authorship, which brings us to the thing that actually protects you. So what do you do with all this? Okay, first of all, we don't panic, and we don't avoid the tools out of fear. You just keep proof. That's the whole deal. And you think long term about your goals, the things that you want to accomplish. And then you have to decide, well, is generative AI worth it? You got to just keep proof along the way of your ownership and your authorship. That's the whole thing. Always save your original Logic session or your DAW session, the original WAV files, the stems, your session dates, your backups. Think of it like version history for your own authorship. If you can, open a folder and clearly show this is the part I made, here's where I made it, here's the human work, and then you're in a completely different position than someone who blended everything together and kept no proof. The risky part that people are not warning you about is that if your human work and the AI's work get mashed into one file and you can't show where yours ends and the machines begin, you make it a lot harder to prove. So it's not that uploading your music automatically steals your ownership. It's that blurred lines make your ownership harder to defend. And if you are wanting to get into something like sync, well, you can't have any generative AI. They don't want any of it. Most people that I've talked to in the sync industry do not want any of that. So don't blur the lines. Keep the receipts. Be honest. And it's not paranoia. It's you being the CEO of your music business. So let's answer the questions we started with. Is the audio upload feature cool? Yeah, I mean, sure, it's cool. It's impressive. And I've used it in other scenarios to ideate, and it's impressive. It opens up some creative doors. Should artists be afraid of it? No. Fear has never protected anybody's music. Should you be informed before you use it? Yeah, because that one line in the terms, the one about the license you grant and the training you allow, that line doesn't have to scare you once you've seen it. It just means you get to make the call on purpose instead of by accident. And that's the whole thing. AI is a tool. It's not the boss. You are. The move that protects you was never to avoid the future. It's to own what you create and keep proof that you created that. Do that and you get to use every one of these tools without ever wondering if you gave your music away. So here's here's your one next step, and it costs you nothing. If this opened your eyes even a little, go watch that free training, Who Actually Owns Your Music in the AI Era. It's free, it's easy, and it picks up exactly where this video leaves off. What you own, what you don't, and what to do next so you can use AI with confidence if you want to, instead of fear. It's linked below this video. Go get it for free, get your foundation locked, and then get back to the fun part, the music. That's all I've got for you today. We'll see you in the next one. Now remember, if you want to access my free training called Who Actually Owns Your Songs in the AI Era and what to do about it, just click the link in the description below and you can get started right away. You're going to walk away with confidence in your ownership and the protection of your song so that you can make more money.